Greetings, redheads. Thank you for joining me in another episode of your favorite show, the one, the only Red's View. Of course, I am your gracious host, Jay Red. Before I begin this video, make sure you do me a favor. Subscribe to youtube.com/Red's View. Make sure that you follow me everywhere on social media platforms, and either you can hit the like button or the dislike button. It is all good, ladies and gentlemen. But without any further ado, we have to address something in the culture right now. 21 Savage, you need to slap yourself. 21 Savage, you need to slap yourself. I'm talking about slap the hell out of yourself, like double time, like real quick, like all that, man. 21 Savage said in a clubhouse interview or a clubhouse chat, whatever you want to call it, that Nas ain't relevant. Now, his exact words, if I'm not mistaken, is Nas ain't relevant. He makes good music and he has a loyal fan base. Now, with that being said, um, I can understand a tad bit of what 21 Savage may have been trying to relay. A tad bit, but it was mad disrespectful and it was worded terribly. And he should slap himself. But we're going to talk about it. Before I dive into that, let's look up what the term relevancy is. I just want to see what is relevant, because you're saying Nas, one of the most influential, groundbreaking rappers of our time that hip hop has ever had. We got to talk about what's relevant. Let's look at what relevant is. I just Googled what relevant is. So it says adjective, closely connected or appropriate to what is being done or considered. And then right here you see appropriate to the current time, period, or circumstances of contemporary interest. So that's what relevant is. Okay. You see what that is right there, right? So now that we got that out the way, so how is Nas not relevant? If we're sticking with the term relevant, how is Nas not relevant? Nas came out in 1994. That's when his first album came out, 1994, Illmatic. Since then, he's been on a 30-year career span. 30 years. Still selling out shows. I just went to the Nas and Wu-Tang New York State of Mind tour. Sold out show. Touring the country. Big venue. Nas has put out a trilogy of albums with Hit Boy called King's Disease, KD 1 through 3. King Disease 3 just dropped, getting critical acclaim. Everybody's been talking about it, and I'm sure it's going to shoot up the charts. Nas just won a Grammy 2 years ago with Hit Boy and King's Disease. That was his first Grammy out of at that time, like 28-year career. Nas is known to invest. He's a music mogul. He invests in tech companies. His net worth is in the millions. Still looking young, still looking sharp. Nas, when he drops these recent albums, King's Disease 1, 2, and 3, they've sold great amount of records independently. If you sell 50,000 records the first week and you're independent and you're on the top of the charts, because keep in mind, he may not have went number one, but he's in the top 10 of the Billboard 200. Top 10 of the Billboard 200. So I say all of that to say, how in the hell is Nasir Jones not relevant? How? You mean to tell me he's the fact that he's still talked about in 2022, going on 2023, because 2022 is just about over. You mean to tell me Nas isn't relevant? If you're going off relevant, Nas helped craft what the culture is, 21 Savage. And see, the problem is I do this too. We have so many people with voices with social media. Back in the days, in the 90s and the 80s and everything like that, you had to depend on publications. People were careful with their word usage. They had PR training. Dudes wasn't just talking out their neck. But these rappers of today, and not just them, but this whole generation, feels like relevancy means trendy. That's what 21 Savage was trying to say. Is Nas out here making hit records, like #1 hit records? No. Is the demographic of ages 18 through 25 consistently listening to Nas? No, probably not. Now, are some of them? Yes, because I've seen a lot of 20-something-year-old dudes and women with Wu-Tang shirts and Nas shirts coming to the venue to see them perform. But is he trendy? Meaning that is everybody in the world listening to him? Does he do Drake numbers? No, he doesn't do that. But I bet you money that a 21 Savage feature on your album costs less than a Nas feature on your album. Guaranteed. Because the first thing people will say is like, who's listening to Nas? Don't y'all understand that hip hop is 50, about to be 50 years old? That's relatively young, but there is more of a demographic than 18 through 25. There's a demographic of my age group over the age of 25, 30 plus. I'm talking about all the way to 60, 70-year-old fans that listen and stream and buy records. So, no, it's not trendy. Is he like Ice Spice right now? All on TikTok? No. Does he have TikTok dances and all this other bullshit? No. But relevancy means that you're still thriving. Relevancy means that you're still charting. You're still winning Grammys. You have an audience. Now, with 21 Savage, with him saying that he has a loyal fan base, I understand that you can have a loyal fan base because Nicki Minaj, for example, right? That Super Freak song, most people I know do not like that song, but she has a solid fan base that will make it rise to the charts. And it's easy to do that with streaming. I'm fully aware of that. However, when Nas drops an album, there hasn't been a time in history to where the internet, I ain't gonna just say the internet, but everybody's not talking about it. He's still a major player and a leader of the culture. Nas, Jay-Z, Eminem, these OGs are leaders of the culture. They define what relevancy is. The fact that these men are like 50 plus years old, able to still top the charts. And keep in mind, like I said, Nas is independent. He's not on a major label. But everybody who has different platforms and just talks out their ass makes it look like relevancy means what's trending on TikTok, what's trending on Twitter. What is the #1 record in the country? You do not need that in order to be relevant, because there's more of a demographic than just the 18 through 25 age bracket. It's way more than that. On my timeline, the people I follow, we all were talking about Nas, men and women. It's ridiculous to make a statement like that. And if you are going to make a statement like that, you need to say it in proper context. You have to say it in proper context. This is the ridiculous, and we're the only music genre that does this. Have you ever heard Whitney Houston say Anita Baker was past her prime? She's not relevant anymore. Have you heard Mariah Carey say that Patti LaBelle was past her prime? That Earth, have you ever heard Genuine say that Earth, Wind and Fire? Oh, they old, they passed their prime. Earth, Wind, it would cost a whole lot of money to get an Earth, Wind and Fire show. Whatever they charge is double of what 21 Savage would charge. And I'm not trying to beat up on 21 Savage, the rapper. I'm not a fan of his music. I listened to a couple of records. 21 Savage is cool, but I'm not, this isn't trying to create any type of controversy towards 21 Savage, but this comment is similar to DJ Academics saying that old rappers are dusty, old and dusty. 21 Savage comments about Nas not being relevant is equivalent to DJ Academics saying that our older rappers, OGs are dusty. And it's crazy because it comes from these foreigners. Now, I'm going to throw that out there, 21. You're not originally from here. You're a British rapper, and I don't feel like you should be able to speak on the culture in that regard. You can't disrespect an OG, a Black American that has put on and made, without Nas, you wouldn't even be able to be on Clubhouse. See, I don't know if this Drake collaboration got into your head. Y'all went #1 and you know, you had a good first week and everything like that, but this is straight bullshit of the energy that you put out there. And Nas deserves an apology. Nas is an OG, and you will respect him as such. See, the thing is, a lot of OGs don't even like to look at it like this. And you know what? Nas embraces the youth. Lil Nas X, as much as controversy he is with, you know, the whole gay stuff, Nas still collaborated with him. Nas appeared on Tiger Records, did records with Lil Wayne, Drake, Nicki Minaj. He embraces the youth and the culture. But for you to literally feel like you're slapping him in the face, we're the only culture, I'm saying we're the only music genre that feels like age and the term relevancy is what defines what a good artist is. No, Nas is not trendy. But you know what? The record Spicy charted. I think it charted like number 50 or whatever, or 40, whatever on the charts. And the one with Big Sean from the King's Disease album, that was up there. Now, are these number one hits that are going to be doing Drake numbers? No. But Nas is definitely relevant. When you look at what the definition of relevancy is, how is Nas not that? Now, if Nas was independent and putting out records that weren't charting, maybe, you know, weren't winning Grammys and just felt like he was, you know, just somebody that was just there, because there are a lot of rappers that are that, you know, but if Nas was under those circumstances, I could see, but you still have articles picking up Nas stories about what he put in his raps, talking about him and Jay-Z joke around about Takeover and Ether and This Ain't Over. This was literally on websites and media everywhere. How is that not relevant? How is that not relevant? But it is extremely disrespectful to say that someone is irrelevant. We have to know what relevancy means. It does not mean trendy. Nas is here 30 years from now. Will 21 Savage be here 30 years from now? Without this Drake collaboration album, would we be talking about 21 Savage if we're going to go there? Now, me, I can criticize and critique all day. I'm a rapper. You can say I ain't got no hit records, whatever. But guess what? I am the culture. You see what it is. I'm a DJ, I'm a rapper, and a podcaster. And I have OGs and legends that have been on my show that show me a lot of respect, and I respect them. That's the energy I put out there. They want to come on this show because of the energy that I put out there, and I applaud them. I don't say that they're not relevant anymore just because they're not making hit records, because I still go to these shows and they still rock it out. We're the only genre that feels like it's a young man's game, but guess what? It's not. It's not. 21 Savage drops an album. Jay-Z drops an album. Who you think is going to sell more? Who? Tell me that. And then we'll see who's relevant. But it's idiotic with the concept of what relevancy is, because that is trendy. See, trendy doesn't stay around long. Trendy is here today, gone tomorrow. Not saying Drake is trendy, not saying that 21 Savage is trendy, but what 21 Savage is saying goes off of the trendy concept. I'd rather have a Nas career, because really, I would, Live at the barbecue that came out of what, 1992, 1993. I would rather have Nas's career. I'd rather have Nas's career in a 30-year span than 21 Savage's career any day. But anyway, y'all, I just had to go on that rant. We need to fix the culture and call this fuck shit out. Had to go ahead and say it. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Subscribe to youtube.com/RedsView. Follow me at JAYR3D. This is J Red Redsview signing out.